Hi and welcome. My name is Katrina and this is our Vampire the Masquerade stream, the last part of the interludes. We are nearly there, viewers. We just have a little bit of information that needs to be divulged or touched upon before all the goodness and all the threads and all the story hooks will get into play. So before we enjoy the last parts of the interludes, as per usual, I would like to introduce, currently though, only two of my players. Let them introduce themselves as well as their characters.
Hi, I'm Marianne. It's still me. Yes, Marianne.
Yes.
Playing Siobhan Price, 10th generation Toreador. And Primogen.
Hi, I'm Ty. I'm playing Christopher Masters, 10th generation Ventru and Prince of the City.
And there they are. Our dear guest, Daniel. He is not part of this little interlude. And Ian will be coming in and out as we move along into season 3. We hope. But we are now going to just focus in on what we're doing right now. And last time was the conclusion of the story called The Guest. And it turned out to be a doozy. And we're going to have a little bit of scenes there with the prince himself. I think it's important before we do push some scenes into the future. So let's just do it. The prince.
Yes, and it's a little time after the disturbing murder of the poor innocent Custer.
Poor Castor.
Or was he innocent? We're not
sure was
about
he
that
innocent?
One. We haven't decided on which narrative to spin on that one yet, are we? Was
Yeah,
it a
well,
well-deserved punishment for his breach of hospitality, or was it a tragic murder?
I think that's a little bit up to the prince himself to decide if he's going to spin it with JJ, if he's going to use Mr. Nightingale or De Winter, or all of the above.
I think actually
what's the story? What is the prince
what I think he's
pushing?
going to do? There's no need. He had a plan with the crow, but why complicate things by creating a false murder? We have a perfectly suitable one here that can suit our purposes. So in fact, maybe one should keep his murder a mystery and try to hunt down the guilty party. And by that we might need a little outside help, some outside review, someone completely unfettered without any loyalties or problems. And that would be a good way for the crow to facilitate his loyal ally to come into the city as planned before.
Well,
no need to blow himself up again. Actually, he's found that physical injury is not so much fun after all. If he can avoid having to go through another time in a wheelchair, that'd be okay.
Well, we just have a little bit of back sound. That's fine. We will ignore it. It's okay.
It's just Gustav's lunch.
It's lunch. So we'll do then the scene as the prince meeting up with the crow.
Yeah, he's gonna call up the crow to have arrange a meeting. And when he's doing this, he's sitting at his desk working with something. He's laboriously holding his cane and seemingly almost like testing for fingerprints on a certain grip of it, and start lifting him off with a latex and planting on latex gloves while he on a big magnifying, like those with lights and magnifying glass, and he calls the crow on the phone.
Mere moments later, you hear, my prince.
Ah, my dear friend, Mr. Crow. May I drop by this evening? Are you free?
Of course. I would expect to have a conversation after the quite dramatic events that has been taking place.
I feel I should take some time and brief the more distinguished kindred in the city of it. Have already talked to the Malka Primogens. I have sent information to sum it up with a messenger to the Queen of Bones. I have, of course, talked to the Toreador Primogen. And tomorrow night I shall be talking to the brewhouse. Well, I'll be right over then, if that's okay.
Of course.
Well,
Very
see
welcome.
you in a minute. Bye. He hangs up. He puts on the glove that's finished. And now, molding form. That's
Project.
ready, and we can pour in the melted latex and let that sit and fix it.
Clever boy.
And when it's done, it will be used to leave prints in a van that was a surveillance van that disappeared from the exhibition and will be found empty with no clues except unknown fingerprints on the... Actually, we'll place a couple of smudged ones on the steering wheel, looking like they've been wiped off, and a complete set on the seat adjuster. That typical thing we doesn't quite remember to do anything about.
Clever. The exhibition of the Red Mummy has been moved into a warehouse under your discretion.
We'll claim it for... It can be stored there for 2 years, and if no one comes to claim it, I'll deem it property of the Prince of the City.
And he could claim it now. The perpetrator is no longer.
No, but I mean, there might be, of course, be bereaved people with some claim on the death estate. One never knows.
Well, even still, it would be interesting to see if anybody come calling.
Yep, exactly. And he arranged for JJ to drive him to the Crow.
And you, dear Prince, you're feeling physically much more vigorous as you are every night healing and bones mending. I think you are quite happy, you're not going to have a tempt on your life and risking more physical harm.
It's going to feel good not to be burned, because actually physical pain hurts quite a bit, though that bloody tattoo still annoys me.
It's an insult to the senses.
We shall have a wee chat with Amber if she cannot find a way to remove it.
Amber was a little bit strange after the event. But then again, it's Amber. She's always a little bit strange.
She's also, but she did have some time off. We'll keep a watchful eye on her.
As always.
Yes, there should be enough cameras and microphones in that apartment to capture just about any angle. For her own safety, of course.
She can't even pick her nose in peace. It will be recorded. Moments later, JJ drives you up to the Crow's establishment. And JJ, again, do you need me for anything else here?
No.
Mr. Nightingale has been quite adamant of getting the investigation under hand, and I would like to survey it.
Excellent. That's a good idea. Go ahead and meet him. I'll call up a security detail to drive me home.
Excellent. I'll keep you posted on anything of importance.
Excellent. And be careful and be safe.
Likewise.
Oh, I intend to. And he steps out and into the shop.
You know for a fact, though, that the fire pulse never hit the library. It didn't really hit any significant building either. There was some physical harm to humans and some burn. It was a gas leak. A stove exploded.
Yeah.
Took out a couple of flats. Acceptable casualties.
It's tragic, but it happens from time to time.
Just so you have that information. It did not take out said hunters. Would have been too easy.
We'll deal with that person sometime. Some other time.
The Crow meets you at the door and he's my liege.
Good evening. Well, shall we adjourn to your sanctum sanctorium?
Very much so. He walks you down and he gently lifts the grotto. And he sits.
Yes, I sit down in a comfy, what I assume to be
Chesterfield. Yes, Persian rocks, Chesterfield. It's quite like a masculine aesthetic.
Well, at the time being, we have no clear certainty of who perpetrated the murder of Mr. Custer. We cannot exclude it be tied to the disturbances that he initiated. His followers going fairly amok needed to be culled in a most severe manner. And his manner did become rather erratic, but fortunately we were able to stop it before it reached the sort of disturbing levels that struck Chicago all those years ago.
It seemed to have been much more contained here.
Yes, I had precautions put into place with some helpful support from the Torrigan Primogen, of course.
I'm glad to hear that. Mr. Locke was, well, engaged,
Yes.
as you so wished for.
Yes, and that proved quite beneficial. What I'm thinking, though, per a little talk, is why create another emergency when one has been handed to us? This horrible murder of Mr. Custer might be fruitfully used for us, perhaps, nay, as an excuse to bring in your external investigator, little man to review the matter, someone who had no ties to the city, who never met the victim and had no ill will or ill feeling towards his presence in the city.
I think this would be just that time.
Yes.
And you have a lot of weight behind that ask, based on Chicago, based on the vulgarness of the event that happened here. It would
Exactly.
show that you are taking the matters very seriously.
Facts must be revealed, and there must be no doubt about its authenticity. So, yes, I'm thinking of calling together a meeting at Elysium, not tomorrow night, but the night after that, and declaring it, and giving a general information of what we know so far. Then, hopefully, the investigation will progress further by that point.
So, bringing in an independent Isma, you on the matter.
And I think when the time is right, there will be room for him to become a more permanent
Excellent.
fixture of the city.
I think that would be very beneficial for you, as we have spoken of before. You need my clan to back you.
Indeed I do, and I would much rather be it a clan influenced by a sensible, honest, and knowledgeable man as you, and not someone quite as volatile as the Queen.
That she is. But she has a lot of information, as I have spoken of before, on kindreds of this city and in other dwellings as well. She is a hard rat to drown.
Indeed. Though, perhaps we will get lucky. Perhaps she will, in some unforeseen way, be the architect of her own demise. After all, hubris is the most dangerous thing.
I am a firm believer if you give someone enough rope, they will hang themselves.
Precisely. I see we're on the same page on that as well.
I do not cultivate great love for the Queen. I do not
No.
think she is the way forward for the city or my progeny. I think she's
No.
volatile and of the old world. And she has a very paranoid ambition that again echoes of the ones that left us. I think she is not for the new. She's of the old. And
I
that will
agree.
be oil and water in the end, my liege.
We could also hope that she might hear the calling. That would probably be the best thing all around.
I fear even if she did, she wouldn't
No,
listen too hard as of yet.
there are also other things, I'm sure, that draws her to her palace of bones.
As I've always said with that, the Queen, do not underestimate her. She might look a fright and she might be silly. It's a ruse, I think, to hide her
Though-
true demeanour and nature.
Though there be madness there's method to it.
Exactly. But I don't think she benefits my clan at all, and I would rather see someone else take the lead. But she stands so strong.
Exactly. And talking about your clan, as we said many times about Sakura, Prodigy, whenever you feel that time is right, you should say the word and the meeting can be had. And I gather you are fully aware of the position that Siobhan Price has offered her.
I was very surprised.
A
Very
smart
surprised.
choice for her, I'd say. It's someone whose loyalty to her is not through the clan, but through a joint secret, a mutual protection deal, one might say.
But if the secret is to be revealed, Medish,
Exactly.
that might change everything. I think it would be beneficial at one point, before we do such a thing, to have a chat.
Arrange it whenever you please, and if you would like me to be present, you must merely send the word.
He gets up and moves for a minute. With progeny, as you probably know, even at your young age, they have their different views and wishes and needs that don't always align with ours, our need to survey them and protect them.
Exactly.
When we do so, they see it as force, as being overbearing and dominant. Not that we have their best interest in mind. I fearful if I now, at this point, intervene with her path before she engages in it.
So you would like to wait a while then?
I would prefer that Sakura came to you herself and asked to be revealed as what she is.
Well, we'll wait a time and see if it happens, and if not, one can apply some gentle nudges rather than straight up talks.
I do not wish to push her further from my affection.
I perfectly understand. My door will always be open for her, and if she talks to you about it in any way or any shape, of course, you might advise her that the prince will have a friendly ear to whatever she has to say.
I'm very much glad to hear that, dear prince. And you have my loyalty.
Excellent. Well,
I'll make arrangements for the surveyor.
Brilliant. And as I said, in 2 nights' time, it will be official. Until then, good friend, I bid you a good night.
He grabs your hand.
Shake it back.
And you, dear prince.
He shakes his hand and puts the other hand
Yeah.
on top as well. Yeah. And he calls up his security detail, calls Jack Dill and gets him to pick him up.
And he's ushered away. That, dear viewers, is the little bit of information we're going to leave you with from that era after the guest. There's probably tons of stories and secrets and threads that you all hopefully want to have more information about. But then we would be playing for, I don't know, 20 years. Which would be cool, but, we gotta move on. So now we're gonna jump in to what we did before the guest story. We're gonna move in time. And I'm gonna focus in on dear Primogen Siobhan Price.
Mm-hmm.
She just smiled.
Yes.
Oh,
excited.
She's muted.
Sorry.
There she is.
I was so excited that I muted myself. Yes.
We enjoyed the silence.
Shady.
More
I wish I
for
could
me.
say the
More
same.
For me.
And we are gonna push a little bit forward, aren't we?
Yes, I think that's appropriate.
That's appropriate because Shiv has some needs and wants that not necessarily is within the city of Boston.
Yeah, she has she and Alex are going on a little road trip, I think, and then she has some other business as well in the great city of New York.
Oh, we are going to New York.
And
So-
I'm trying to figure out if Eve should come with me or if not. What do you think, Katrina? Should she come with me or not?
Who?
Eve.
Eve! Eve should... Should she? I'm not going to decide that. It's not up to me. I'm not going to make that call.
I think she's going to be invited to her old stomping ground.
Ah, cool.
Yep.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
So obviously you're going to travel with Alexander.
Yes, probably.
Oh,
don't know,
separate cars,
if-
it doesn't matter. You can have
No.
traveled ahead. It depends on how you have arranged this. And are we a year or 6 months or more after the York got a hole in the wall?
Maybe it happens either right before. I don't know. Maybe like a little before the beautiful murders at school.
That is year 4.
So
So
yeah.
let's say it's gonna, you guys just played year 3, so it's gonna be, say, 7, that's 8 months.
I need some time to fix up the York,
Yeah, you do.
obviously, and do
Yeah.
some redecoration.
So
So that will probably take some time.
8 months later. What time of year are we in then?
We were in autumn.
Oh!
Ugh,
So the nights are short.
the sun.
The
the
nights are
sun.
short.
Ugh.
And New York is cooking. Not
Yeah.
that it matters. It's
No.
better in nighttime anyways. But it's a vibrant city. It's a powerful city. And of course, Shiv has been here many a times before.
Yeah, she keeps one of her lawyers and some accountants here as well.
Mhm. Alexander has arranged to meet Mr. Hamilton for you in a very grand suite at the Hilton.
Hmm.
Does she also decide to stay at such a hotel, or does she pick a more vampire-friendly location? Has they rented an apartment, a townhouse?
Yeah, no, I think maybe rented a townhouse, and had Eve like go prepare it ahead of time.
Ahead of time. So it's
Yeah.
you're gonna be in Manhattan regardless, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be in one of those beautiful, ridiculously expensive townhouses in Manhattan, which is Upper East Side. Which has like beautiful little small gardens in the back. It's 4 to 5 stories. It's gonna be like 50,000 a week to rent it, or even more.
Who cares?
Who gives a F? But it's been vampire approved as you arrive.
Yeah.
And Eve stands there in a quite beautiful vanilla colored summer dress gown, very sleek, hair tied up, rosy cheeks, because there's a beautiful early summer breeze. The temperatures are hot, even in nighttime.
Yeah. I think I'm arriving in a silk slip dress, like a green apple colored, like a little pastel-y apple green. Yeah, number. Hair up and stiletto shoes. Yeah.
You
Very
have
simple.
obviously carriers that get your luggage in and everything's set up. You have, I'm sure, agreed to also meet Alexander maybe in the bar at the Hilton before the meet.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
And Eve is just gushing and just desperately wanting you to reassure her that everything looks astounding.
You've done an okay job, Eve. Good job, Eve.
Thank you, Mistress. I hope it's okay.
I mean, it's not home, but
No,
Nothing
of course,
is.
nothing is. I have arranged for a town car. Whenever you are ready, it's on standby, mistress.
I hope you're not uneasy by being home.
This is not my home, mistress.
Well, no, not your former home.
Wherever you are is my home.
And I was about to say that if you wanted to go out to meet friends, you could take the night off. I don't need you tonight.
Well, there is perhaps someplace that would be nice to just visit. I feel uneasy though leaving my post. What if you need something and I'm not there?
You have a phone, right?
Of course.
And I have Alex. It's fine. I'll be fine. After all, I've been here many times before, and I don't think there's anything I would need that I couldn't fix myself.
As you wish, mistress. I'll take the night off. She looks weird when she says it.
I think I'll go to wherever my room would be, just refresh my makeup before heading out, because time is of the essence. Don't have many days here, so...
The city smells of garbage, cars, people, fun, adventure, excitement, and all of the above. It's bright. I don't know. I know you've been to New York. I've been to New York. Has Ty been to New York? I think we all have been to New York. It's a crazy bananas place, and you're looking up constantly, and your neck is creaky.
Yeah.
The town car is a beautiful black Lexus, top of the notch model.
Of course.
The driver gets out, opens the car for you, and he has a bit of a 27, madame.
Do I look that old?
Oh, no. Très bien. Madame.
Oh, okay. I'll just go outside and tip him on the way.
Merci beaucoup.
Will you make sure to be available whenever I meet?
You have me booked for the entire evening, madame.
Great, thank you. You've managed to do something right. Good.
Ouch! It drives. You arrive at the Hilton, which is a top of the notch 5-star, ridiculously gorgeous hotel. And there is that piccolo boys and girls. And your car door is opened, and you been not ushered out, but like you know where you're going. The door's just being opened for you.
Yep. And I'll just go in. On my way, actually, in the car on the way, I will pick up my phone and I will send a... Can I have an encrypted phone?
You can have a burner.
Burner. I have a burner. I
Burners
was
are
so
easiest.
inspired by all the phones that Chris had.
Yeah, but a burner's easy.
Yeah. And I'll send a message asking for a meet the next day.
And you get...
Oh, no. Yes, the next day. Early next day.
Yeah. Not early next day, early next evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evening, sorry.
Because it's a...
No. But the nights are my days, so yeah.
Yeah, and you get a message back. We can actually meet at the Natural History Museum.
Just perfect. Sending that. Miss you.
It doesn't say that. Heart. No, it's
No.
and you, always. As you enter the lobby of the Hilton, it's glamour, it's expensive, it's all the goodness. You see the front desks, it's mahogany, it's marble, it's gold, it's all the goodness. It's huge. To your left is like the lounge bar area. and you see Alexander sitting in a white linen suit, jacket off, white shirt open, spinning a martini glass, not touched, and chatting very seductively to the male bartender, which is entranced with Alexander.
I'll
It's called
walk
Sweetheart for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just walk over to him with a little smile on my face. And then I'll just like stand. Yeah, okay.
And he's
Is
like he gives his hand to you, not looking at you. Texas, I should come and see you at your farm one day. You know, strong working hands. It's like, well, yes. Siobhan, darling, I got a little bit distracted. And then he gives you eye contact, and the bar stool is free.
I'll sit down.
You look fresh after your travels.
So do you.
Thank you. I've just
And I
been
see you have
revived.
found. Yes. This looks very refreshing. And I don't look at the drink, I look at the man, the bartender.
Yeah, Bobby. Bobby is a lad from Texas, wanting to be the next new thing on Broadway. I'm sure he will make it.
I'm sure he will.
Bobby on Broadway, from Texas. He smiles.
The perfect winning combination, I'm sure.
I'm sure if someone was inclined, that Bobby might just make it. But my circle
You should
is
have
not
him
my
audition for
monkey.
you later.
Perhaps. We'll see. We'll see how
Sing
my...
a little tune.
Well, let's see how peckish I am later.
Play the
Anyway,
flute.
we are not here to talk about my interests. We are here to talk about yours.
Oh, I thought it was yours. I thought this was mutual.
Oh, well, of course. This is important for the city. No?
Let's call it that.
Let's call it that.
Was it Marco? When were we?
Marco Hamilton.
Sounds like a musical.
You know, he is... Maybe maybe you are ready for new love. He's definitely, I would think, to your liking.
How so?
Adventurous fellow.
intrigued.
Pedigree, for sure. Money, yes. Ran away from it. Became an adventurer.
Old, young.
Mid-30s. Shoulder-length hair. Chestnut brown. Green eyes. Broad chest. He's one of them
Is this a setup, Alex?
Indiana Jonesy characters.
Are you trying to set me up? Are you trying to... It's been a long time, that's for sure.
Well, maybe this is just what dear Miss Bryce is looking for.
And I thought this was for you.
Oh,
I misjudged you.
Darling, what is for me is for you to be your bestest. That makes the city and my position the bestest. If you're grumpy and not getting what you want, that makes it shitty for me. Catching on? It's not about you. It's about me, darling.
It shouldn't be.
Never is. He slaps up
Because
the box
I was about to to be a little suspicious against you because you don't do anything that's not selfish.
I'm self-serving.
And I love that about
Thank you. I'm self-serving, Miss Price. And don't get me wrong, I'm terribly fond of you. It would even say have a smidgen of
On
love.
a good day. Oh.
Smidgen. And I do not love things.
Big
Maybe
words.
plants. Nothing else. And art. Art, most definitely. But you have a soft spot. You're fascinating, you're young, and you don't do things by the book. And you deserve fun. Hamilton
Fun.
is fun.
Now I'm actually quite looking forward to meeting this one. I actually thought I was doing this as a favor to you, so maybe it's the other
Funny
way
how that
around.
works. Funny how that works
Well,
out.
I will judge this after we meet him. You're not off
Excellent.
the hook just yet.
We'll see. He puts a $20 bill in tip on the table. And we talk later, Bobby from Texas.
I don't think I'll be seeing you again, Bobby from Texas, but nice seeing you.
Thank you, ma'am. He says, very thick southern. Ah, the thighs on that boy. But yes, let's get to the meat, shall we?
Let's.
You get into the elevator.
Is there anything that I need to know before meeting him? Apart from that he should be my type already. Why do you want him? Expot.
He leans into the elevator, and the elevator's gonna go a little slow for the dialogue.
Yeah, sorry.
It is in essence self-serving, dear Siobhan. I need the clan to be strong in Boston. This individual is just that little maverick that can help me get the clan in shape.
Help me help you.
Don't get me wrong, Miss Price. I honor your position as Primogen. But you are young. And you need individuals to gather around you to help build this clan in Boston.
And I welcome all the help I can have from you, Alex. I truly do.
And that's what I'm saying. I do not want to be Primogen.
It's not
for
lost.
me.
It's not lost on me.
I don't want to be Prince. I don't want to be Primogen. I want to be exactly where I am. And to keep me there. Safely, snug, free, but with a level of power that I'm interested in. I need you strong. I need you untouchable. I need you to be Diana. And you need individuals around you from the clan that can help you to construct that image.
Do you have any dirt on this one?
Oh, there's always
that you can
dirt.
share. Just a little nugget.
Dirt. He's got sticky fingers. Sometimes if it isn't nailed to the ground, it might find its way into his pockets. And he's curious. Locked doors. Well, doesn't necessarily mean they're locked to him.
I'll take his hand, squeeze it. Thank you.
But he is a friend to me. I would not introduce you to him if I didn't think you were beneficial of him. You need someone that can help you in ways that I find tedious.
I presume that he is... Well, I'm not going to call anyone an old glass of wine, but that he has a bit... that he is older than me.
Yes.
Has some experience that I don't necessarily have.
Exactly.
Maybe more than you?
Maybe a little bit.
I don't mind experienced men.
Exactly. It doesn't intimidate you, and that's why I think this is a good match. You see, in the meeting, when I saw how Miss Brown shook in her boots of the winter coming to the city, I was thinking the House of Price cannot have this, you need strong allies, strong partners of the clan.
You truly are an asset to the clan, and you know this.
Ah, honey dearest sweetheart, I am self-serving. Let's not get our knickers in a twist. I want to be able to do what I want to do. And I can do that perfectly fine if you are perfectly fine. Oh, as fine as you can be. And he fixes one of your hairs. You know, it's a work in progress.
Sure. Whatever you say, darling.
But he grabs your hands before you get to the first floor. And he holds them. But if I didn't see Diana in you, none of this would transpire. Know that.
I wish I knew her longer.
She was an Amazon, a goddess to the Torador. In her prime, no man, or woman, or other could deny her needs, wants, or desires.
I was too wrapped up in myself at the time.
And you still are a little bit, so that's what we're doing this treat. But he needs to prove himself to you, in ever you are Primogen of Boston.
Well,
do not forget that.
Never. I am here of my own, serving, and no one
Exactly.
else's.
The doors go ping. And a massive panorama night sky, you see it through the penthouse. You see this, it's almost like an Indiana Jones, like all the Avengers movie you ever seen. Brandon Fraser back in the day in The Mummy. You see him from the side, broad back, rolled up white
No more
shirt.
mummies, please.
No, but Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser, the brown curly hair. You see him from the side. He's holding a cigar, smelling it, staring out into the night sky. You just see his profile. He's a biscuit. He's a treat. And of course, the penthouse is spectacular.
Let's just bring out my composure dice already. Let's just. Sorry. Just for my own amusement.
And then very like romance movie slow motion, he gets up and he turns around with these beautiful green eyes. Almost tanned, but he's a vampire, so he's pale. And he says in a very sultry, dark voice, Miss Price, I presume. And on that note, we're going to have a quick break. All of a sudden, they turn into a romance novel.
Yeah,
But
this
not.
is like... No.
It will never be a romance novel.
No,
No,
thank you.
have you anyone seen my games? It will never be a romance novel.
I'm like looking at, what is it? The romancing the... it was about the Nile. What was those like?
Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone. I was like,
And Jewel of
that
the
was
Nile,
the
which
image
was the
you were
sequel.
like pouring into my head. At least I don't know. Yeah,
Her little, yeah, because she was a romance novelist in those films.
yeah. That's kind of where this was introduced. Yes. Pause. A break. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're doing a little
Will
break.
he be your Michael Douglas, your Kathleen Turner?
Ooh, I love it.
And does that make Christopher the DeVito?
What does that make Aiden?
Let's not go there. But then again, she also needs a host. So, say no more. Break. Bye. Welcome back from the break. We're continuing the introduction to Mr. Hamilton with Price as she enters the penthouse. Miss Price, I presume, he says. Tall fellow, 187.
Marco, was it?
Yes, of course. Why not be friendly and familiar? Of course, Marco.
You can call me Shiv.
Well then, Shiv, we are friends.
Well, let's see when the night's over, right?
Or at least
But for
friendly. So please. He shows you over to that very fancy sitting area.
I know it's not common in our world to be on first name so soon, but I'm not necessarily of the old school. And I think Alex have probably told you this. So if I do bend or twist rules or go outside of protocol, please excuse me.
Oh, no pardons or excuses necessary. I thrive in that. I think sometimes rules are just made to be bended. That's why they are rules.
Or broken.
Exactly. Alexander, you are right. Quite right so far.
I look at both of them.
I know, as he sits in the bar.
Are you going to be that distant all night? Then you might as well excuse yourself, Alex.
Oh! Okay. Well, you're a big girl. I'll be downstairs with Bobby then.
And I'll give him like a fuck, I didn't mean it. Look.
He's like Bobby with their lovely thighs.
Enjoy.
You too, darling. He throws his linen jacket over his shoulder as he whistles as he walks out.
In here, I now turn to Marco. I really hope he would be here to break the ice a little bit more, but I don't necessarily think we need it, do we?
No, and that would not be Alexander's style. He is a bit of a cat, don't you think? He's a very Oxford English dialect.
You hail from the motherland. Obviously
so
not
do you.
this one, but...
And so do you. I am sure, like me, your last name is not your own. That was our former selves.
Well, I don't know which levels of society you've been walking in, or when you walked back home.
I was of means. I was a private school boy.
Well,
boarding school.
I don't want to presume your age, but maybe then you've bumped heads with my grandmother.
It would have been a pleasure, and I have. There's
York
something
is the
familiar
name.
about you, he says, cheeky.
Not too familiar, I hope.
Well, a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell.
So New York, how long?
10 years now?
That's not long, though.
No.
Well, I'm but a baby, so what do I know? But 10 years doesn't seem very long now.
New York is competitive. And New York is set in its ways.
Is
And
that why...
I'm itching for adventure.
And Boston is where you might seek them.
Well, I've been paying attention since Alexander spoke of this meet. That place.
Well, it has been busy of late.
But even you, he stretches out his arms. Even you. And please take no offense, but you are a young beauty to the night, and you have risen to the ranks like a shooting star. Not common.
No. Well, it was easier than for most, I think. But then again, a city losing so many so fast, that's not normal either, I think.
It doesn't seem to be a normal place. I thrive in not normal, Miss Price.
And here I thought Boston would be boring to most compared to this. And I go towards the,
Yeah.
I guess it's a balcony and stuff.
It looks actually a little bit like uncomfortably close. Yes, it's beauty. But if you peel back the veneer, this is a city created by the old, not for the new. There's old lineages and pedigrees, and they are stuck in their merry ways. It doesn't fascinate me, Miss Price. It's almost speaking, you can feel his breath on your ear. It doesn't interest me.
I turn around and face him. What does interest you or fascinate you? Enlighten me, please.
The unexpected fascinates me. New fascinates me.
I see what Alex have told you now, and how that might be looked at. Yes.
I would love, based on what I know now and my research and my talks to Alexander, to make Boston my new home.
What is it you're interested in Boston, apart from excitement and newness? What can you contribute to our
Well,
city?
dear lady, he curtsy very elegantly. I think that's why we're having this meeting, are we not?
Well, yes. So what are you offering?
Put me to the test, dear lady. Test my skills in every which way you so please. And he gives you a very cheeky grin. Put me to the fire. Challenge me, if you please. Let me prove my capabilities.
I'll take a little, just go around just in a thinking mode, touching, looking at things as I move around the room. Well, there is a certain painting that it's an interest of mine. A certain Francis Bacon painting.
He crosses his arm. Not defensively, but interested.
I was interested in acquiring it for a friend of mine. I would have done it myself. But if you want to be challenged, do I dare give you the test?
Dear lady. He
It
almost
is your
curtsy again.
It is on your territory, or your Primogen's territory, I'm sure.
I do not see problems, I only see solutions.
Hmm.
And I must honor a lady's request. What kind of gentleman would I be if I did not?
Yes, I think that would be fine. Well,
Yeah, he walks a little bit close. If I were to acquire said painting, would you open your arms welcoming me into your city?
I think that, along with your company this weekend, shall prove that. Because that task I could probably do myself. So I need to get to know you a little better. I know Alex is vouching for you. And with this little test, I'm sure getting you in with approval from the Prince of Boston, that might be easier than expected.
Then
I
I
think
have a task, my lady, he says.
I think you need to convince me that you're worthy as well of my attention.
It doesn't sound like an unpleasant task, he smiles at you. It doesn't even sound like labor.
Many has said that. Not many have proved it, so I'll be interested in seeing where this goes.
There are not many like me. Miss Price. Oh, pardon. Siobhan.
I'll go towards the balcony again and just look out over the city. Care to show me your city before you potentially have to leave it?
Let me show you the delights.
I'd be delighted if you would.
He extends his hand, and as he grabs you, and then he picks up. I think you dropped this. It's one of your earrings, studded.
Dropped it, you say?
Frickle
I could-
things.
You don't keep your fingers to yourself, do you?
No. My mother used to scold me. Can't keep my fingers out of the pies, Siobhan.
Well, maybe you do need some scolding later, but not from your mother.
Oh, promises, he says. And he
I'll
laughs,
take
like, yeah, he laughs really, like, genuinely.
I'll take it and I'll just like put it back and then I'll do a quick little like
What the fuck did he
what
lift?
more? Yeah, is my vial here? Is my vial here? Is my other jewels there? Yeah.
On that note, Shiv wanders into the New York night with Mr. Hamilton. It is a breath of fresh air.
Shiv has been longing for some other company, so yeah. After a certain Callisto disappeared and went into her little gin or bottle, yeah.
So on that little note, that certain someone has been introduced. I'm going to do a little bit left now, a little bit in the interlude in this episode, and we're going to go back into Christopher, back into him. My God, innuendos! I pay you!
A no is a no. Respect.
I am dirty. There you go. Yeah, that's your right. We go into Christopher, and I'm dirty. Are we gonna settle in what time period?
Probably a couple of months before the guests arrive, I guess.
After Elizabeth left.
Yeah, after Elizabeth left, but before the guests arrived, so a couple of months on either side of that.
Mm-hmm. And Christopher this evening, is this the first time he lays eyes on this certain young progeny?
No, it's the first time he makes contact. He's had him on observation for a while and whittled down candidates, making a little list who would be suitable for recruitment or for patronage. I mean, grooming is such an ugly word.
Yeah, based on everything else you guys have been doing.
What? Just because one happens to ponder over some cribs late at night, feeling a bit peckish doesn't necessarily make one a monster.
No, yeah, it does. So where are you? Are you surveilling him? Like, you know where he is this time of the evening?
Yeah,
It's early evening.
Yeah, it's early. It's gonna probably make sure that it happens when he's close to the pizza restaurant controlled by his uncle, because that's sort of he needs the immediate connection to make to make sense.
But you
So
know
not
now,
anyway.
your uncle is not. He's up the ranks.
Yeah, he's not, but he still owns. I mean,
He
I'm
still
guessing
owns it, but he's not using
no,
that
he-
as his.
No, he's not using that anymore. He's got it more. I mean, he's probably not even seeing most people day to day anymore.
No.
At all.
No,
I mean, it's
no.
insulating himself as much as possible. So I'm guessing it's one of the lieutenants that's taken over.
Yeah.
The operations there probably been bumped up. Someone's been bumped up
of course.
and given a chance to earn and to launder some money, which of course is where Chris comes in. It's probably his biggest contribution to the family business as a way for every family in the city to launder their money through his.
Well, since Christopher was turned prince, your mafioso has never done better.
Nope.
The Russian are like laying with broken backs, barely scraping by after a
As it should be.
a said individual got taken out.
Yep. Sad that. It's not like Chris had to pay any price for that.
Don't boo-hoo me. Don't you dare boo-hoo. Scoundrel.
So he's gonna bump into him coming out of the pizzeria.
He looks a little bit like old worldy. His hair very like combed up in is it called quiff? No.
Yeah, like Quiff, only like a pompadour.
Yeah, pompadour.
So,
Yeah. And he's wearing like a bomber jacket, white t-shirt, but like like male pants with like the steamed line on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
And Converse, and he's not really paying attention because he's looking at his phone because it's getting close to his Nokia.
Yeah.
And a book bag. Yeah, like a messenger bag.
Who needs to carry a deadly weapon when you have a Nokia? You start to bash someone's skull in, and the phone will work. Well, he stops to look at him and say, it's Lorenzo, isn't it?
He looks up from his phone. Excuse me?
Lorenzo Narducci, right?
Yeah, he looks around and he's got handsome features, but a little bit boyish.
He's still young. He's like
He's
late teenager.
Yeah, like
17,
early, like 19, 20. He's early, he's young.
Yeah.
Can I help you, sir?
I knew the reputation of your father. A good man. So it's a shame what happened to him.
You see almost like a blush of red in his cheeks, like uncomfortable, maybe shame, you're unsure. Well, you're a vampire, you can check that, but you get an immediate physical, and you smell the rush of the blood. And he's Italian, so you kind of have to do a culture and Road check.
No. Protege, not meal ticket. Protege, not meal.
Yeah.
Oh no, he gets hungry. It's well helped by the fact that he can enjoy the great pizza pie. Yes. Next best Italian thingy.
Do I know you? Do you know my dad?
I knew you. Well, didn't know him that well. I was fairly young back then, but I remember him. Used to see him in my uncle's establishment, and he nods towards the restaurant.
Oh, he's like, you're.
Yes, Christopher. Nice to meet you, Christopher Falcone.
Yeah, he reaches out. He's. And then because he lives around here, he knows the name, and he knows that. I'm sorry. He scratches his head.
Oh, don't worry. I like to keep a low profile. Actually, in fact, I like to keep such a low profile that I thought maybe you could do me a little favor. You see this?
Yeah?
I got a little tip about a horse that's gonna be sure thing in race number 3 tomorrow. Santa's little helper. Maybe you could put some money on me for me over at Tony the bookmaker.
Yeah. But I'm sure you have better more. You have tons of
Yeah,
guys.
but I don't want Tony's boss to know that I'm putting money in it. It's a bit of a payback for some lip service back in the day. It's best if he doesn't know. And he reaches in and he pulls out and he counts out like $5,000 worth.
Yeah, the eyes like.
And you wouldn't go around putting some money on that horse yourself. I'm pretty sure it'll win. You can come by and meet me at what's the best? Oh yeah, and he gives the name of a restaurant, an Italian restaurant in England.
Yeah.
I'll be there around 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Shh. You trust me with this? I could just run off, you know.
Nah,
Nobody. Like,
your family blood speaks for you. Trust me on that. Besides, anyone running off with 5,000 of my money wouldn't run very far. Only it gives a bit of.
Dude, then you see he does that. Yeah, you got me on that one, Mr. Falcone. Of course. If you have need for me, I'll do it. Sure.
Excellent.
Why not? He says.
And with that done, he'll let everyone run along and set up the meeting for the next night.
As you're about to leave with this very successful endeavor, you feel a hand smack on your shoulder.
I look up.
Yo, Gus!
Oh, Christ, of course. Oh! Cousin, dearest of my friends. And I gives him a kiss on its cheek. Vinny, 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 how are you doing?
And he's like, He's wearing in a very expensive suit. I've set up my own deal. I'm making bank, bro. I'm making bank.
Christ.
Let me tell you about it. He's like, let me tell you about it. We'll go on with you know that fancy gin bar on the 5th and 2nd Street?
Yes, of course.
Let me tell you about it. Look at the bling. You see sporting gold chains, and you see the Maria and the Saints.
Family. Can't kill him, can't live on him.
You know, it's like this construct, this pyramid construct, and I'm figuring shit out.
I hope you're making certain that you're on the top of the pyramid, dear cousin.
It's like, what? It says as you walk off. And your heart is like, no, what has he done?
And it's like, dear God, it's gonna be something like Oriflame or something like that, isn't it?
Herbalife!
Herbalife, yeah. Thank God he's joined a cult.
Well, on that little note, we're not going to say too much about that scene. We're going to just leave it up in the air. And I'm not going to say too much about shift scene. I'm going to, if you have paid attention to prior episodes, you should know a little bit what's going on. We're going to do probably one more episode with some scenes, and that should be the end of the interludes. We are done.
Season 3, here we come.
Season 3, here we come.
Oh,
The true horror can begin.
Yeah.
we're all going to die, but I'm so excited.
Yeah. We're gonna see if we need to divulge anything more. We might do, we might not. If there's one more of This Is It. I'm terribly excited. This has been, and I gotta say, this has been a story that's been years in the making for me. I've thought about it for years. The story hooks came even in Hunter. This is big. So season 3, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time. I'm gonna savor every morsel of these guys' story because I think they deserve it. They do not deserve a rushed sprint to the finish. They deserve to have his stories told with respect and time. So please stay tuned and enjoy. Slow torture, because you gotta pull out a fingernail slow. If not, it's not fun.
Exactly.
Death of 1,000 cuts.
I think that's you, Chris. Taya. Chris. Whatever.
I think it's gonna be in a hail of gunfire.
I can say I do not know. I think that's one of the beauties of role playing is best laid plans are for fools. And if you think you can control everything, you don't. So it's just basically lifting your skirts and trying to either start fires or putting out ones. So yeah, I'm so excited for season 3. And I've seen the comments of you guys and how some of you guys are gearing up for season 3, and I get it, but none of y'all are more excited than me. Yes! Yes, in the making. And
As long as I get to exact vengeance on the queen, everything's okay.
I can promise you there will be laughs, there will be silly scenes, there will be very dramatic scenes, there will be decisions that will be heart-wrenching for all you all. Even for me.
Can
But-
Marianne roll composure for herself now?
Yeah, but I think if it didn't feel like it mattered, we wouldn't have fun. That's just my opinion about it. If it didn't feel like you get a little bit flustered and a little bit, oh my god, would you really care? That's how I think, and I want to honor your engagement. I want to honor my players, that they are willing to put so much into it, and they deserve a kick-ass story. And it might not always be pretty, and I do not know how exactly it will all end. But it will end. But again, thank you, dear players. You are beautiful. To our viewers, thank you so much for your comments, likes, and follows. And we're getting there. We're almost there. And until next time, stay safe and take care of one another. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.